Hello and welcome back to the Rich YouTube channel. Today we'll be learning how to make a Caribbean dress. Some people call it gypsy dress or tiered dress. Okay, so this dress is going to have a bodice that is going to stop around the breast area, the from nipple to breast point area. So I'm using this navy blue fabric for the bodice, and then it's going to have 3 layers of gathers. Okay, so this fabric will be the first layer, this is going to be the second layer and the third layer, and I'll be gathering this to this and then this to this before I gather everything to my main bodice. Okay, so let's start the tutorial. So this is the bodice, this is the shoulder line, the armhole area, and the bust measurement that I'm working with is 40 inches. So divided by 4 is going to give me 10 inches, and I added 1.5 inch allowance to it. So it's quite explanation. And for the neckline, I used 3.5 inches by 1.5 for the back and 3.5 inches by 4 inches for the front. So now the shoulder to bust line measurement is 11 inches, and I added 1 inch allowance to make it 12 inches. So I'm just going to cut this out now, and then our bodice is ready. So the next thing now is to cut out the down part of the dress, and then how we are going to arrange it. So for the down part of it, it depends on how full you would like your gathers to be. Okay, so for this dress I'm not going to make it too full, it's just going to be okay. So I'll be working with the bust measurement. You can work with the fullest measurement of the body, which is the hip line. That is if you want really big fullness. But for this I'll be working with the bust measurement, which is this, which is 40 inches. Okay, so for the first part and the full length of the dress, that's from shoulder to the knee length, is 40 inches. So the 40 inches now, I'm removing the 11 inches from the bodice, and it's going to give me 29 inches. So the 29 inches is what I'm going to be dividing to get my down part. So you need to divide this anyhow that you wish to arrange you can make it equal, or you can just make it maybe 10, 11, 12. That's the length. I'm talking about the length now. So for the width, okay, so for this I'm using, for the first layer I'm using 9 inches length, for the second layer I'm using 10 inches length, and for the last layer I'm using 11 inches length. So if I add all that together, it will be more than 29 inches, but it's fine because remember I'll be sewing them together. So you need to add your seam allowance when you are cutting it. You have to have that in mind. So the length is sorted now. For the width, I said I'm working with my bust, which is 40 inches. So now for the first layer, what I'll be doing is I'll multiply the 40 inches that I have for my bust by 2, and that's going to give me 80 inches for the first layer. So I'll be cutting a fabric of 80 inches. It will be 80 inches long, and from here to here, which is the width, is going to be 9 inches. So for the second layer, I'll be multiplying my bust measurement by 3. That's 40 times 3, and it's going to give me 120. So I'll cut 120 inches long by 10 inches width for the second layer. And for the last layer, I'll be multiplying my waist measurements by 4. So 40 by 4 is going to give me 160. And it means I'll cut a fabric of 160 inches long, and the width is going to be 11 inches. I hope you understand that. So I'm going to gather, I'll start from the largest one. I'm going to gather the largest one here, the longest, which is the 160 inches. I'm going to gather it to the 120 inches, and then I'm going to gather everything also to the 80 inches before I gather it to my main bodice. So now I'm going to do that now off camera, because I don't want the video to be too long, because it's just a simple free dress. And then on my bodice also, I'm going to sew the shoulders together. I'm going to join them together on the shoulder. So now you need to decide how you want to finish the neckline. You can either cut a facing for it, or you turn it with bias. And if you are going to be adding zipper or not, you need to decide that also. So because it's a free dress, you can actually get away with just putting buttons at the back. It doesn't have to have a zipper. I'm going to be joining them together on the shoulder and also on the sides for the bodies, and that's what I need to do on the bodies before I gather my gypsy part of the dress to the main bodies. So I'll do that off camera and bring it back to show us. So I've joined the shoulder together and I've shaped it on the side. So this is the bodies, and this here is the gathered part. That's the down part. You can see I gathered this to this and then this to this. So I'll be gathering the upper part, which is the brown, to this now, and then our dress is ready. Okay, so this is the full dress. Is completed now. So you just need to finish the hem line, maybe with a bias or facing or whatever you wish to do. So this is the bodies. This is the first layer, which was our bust measurement ×2. This is the second layer, which was the bust measurement ×3, and this is the last layer, which was the bust measurement ×4. It's very simple to make and it's very, very lovely. So you can get creative with your color mixture, or you can just make it one color. And then I just fixed a basic sleeve here, so you can experiment and fix whatever sleeve that you wish to sleeve. So that is the video of how to make a gypsy dress. Very simple and beginner friendly. You may want to try this out and let's see what you come up with. Let me know in the comment section if you have any difficulty, and thank you so much for supporting our channel. See you in the next one. Bye.